Here we go.
Hello everyone, I'm Broughy1322 and welcome to episode 63 of the Choking Hazard podcast. Here we go with another episode, 2 months away. 2 months since the last episode. I got my usual co-hosts, Sugar Free Nos over there.
Hello.
RDT down there.
What's up?
Josh is over there.
Hello, I am very tired.
And we also have MB Hammer, who this show wouldn't run without him. Remembered to mention this time.
2 hours later.
So kind of you, Adam.
I know, right?
That's really
I know.
good.
I've got so much, so much to give.
Yeah, absolutely,
thoughtful.
absolutely.
So yeah, it's been 2 months. A lot of the things that we were going to talk about last month are probably not relevant anymore, but some of them I think are still listed to talk about. Let's just get into some stuff because I mean, 2 of you are in new locations. If you want to know why Josh is tired, by the way, then you got to watch the pre-show for that. And that explains it. But
I'll have to watch the pre-show. I wasn't there for it.
yeah, you were actually late for the pre-show explanation.
I was not late. All right, all of you started early.
See,
But I'm not going to have this debate.
So I mean, who wants to start? Two of you have different backgrounds. So who wants to tell us first?
I
I
mean,
don't even know who the other person is. Is it Josh?
Are you not? Can you not? Yeah, it's
it's
Josh.
you, isn't it?
Yeah, Josh and
Well, I'm in a
RDT.
new location.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
okay. You don't know it's something different, like.
Listen, man.
We talked about this on the last show, that he was having such a stressful time with his new office.
I think.
Yeah.
But you're in the same general place, right? Like the same house or apartment or whatever.
With the same apartment, yeah, but
But it is
Yeah,
a
I just remember
completely
there's, like, a
different
carpet guy.
background.
Okay. all right.
blue wall behind me. Yeah.
Go on then, RDT. You tell us first. What's the
I'm
deal
just-
with? Where are you?
I'm just at my mom's new house. She bought a place.
Oh, okay.
Because where I was before, she was renting. So I can't remember the last time I did this from my actual apartment that I still have. So-
You still are you still paying rent on that, and you're not in it?
Well, I mean, I split my time. I come down here on the weekends.
Oh,
so,
okay, right. I see.
Yeah.
So you are
Oh,
still there.
yes.
It's just you're not doing the podcast from there.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mr. Multi-home over here.
Uh-huh.
Man, I think
Money
that's what I
bags.
need to move into next is real estate. I need to start.
I was looking back up on the Discord chat, and you said this is your 5th different location since starting the podcast.
I think so, right? Well,
That
So
sounds
did I-
about right, but it's not as if I've been paying close attention to your
I did it
background
from-
over the years.
my apartment in Philadelphia. I did it from my childhood home that got sold. I've done it from my apartment in North Jersey, and then my mom's rental, and now here. So, yeah, I'm just on the move.
I know. And Nos is in exactly the same location, but got an entirely new house.
Yes, yes.
Built around it.
Yeah, I used to do it from about 30 feet that way, and now I do it. Now I do it here. So
And Josh, you've moved about I don't know how many feet, but you've moved a certain number of feet and meters through your home.
I could tell you in meters, like 5, 6 meters away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
but I'm in a different
how
room.
we've been hearing much updates on this over the months and the issues that you've had and what's the story? I mean, you're here obviously, but what happened with the carpet guy?
Carpet guy eventually turned up and put the carpet in. I mean,
Okay.
there's not too much to say.
whoa,
yeah.
very exciting.
Yeah, so he wasn't just blowing me off or whatever. I mean, I still don't know if I buy the whole my car.
That'd have been a
blew
real
up
good
story.
carpet guy.
Yeah, but yeah, I've got carpet. I mean, you can't see it, but it's whatever. But yeah, it was just the carpet wasn't the important part. It was just stopping me from doing everything else. But yeah, I'm in here now. You can probably hear it's a little echoey. I haven't got enough acoustic stuff. I haven't figured all that stuff out yet. But yeah, it's good. I've got my own room. Can shut the cat out so she doesn't annoy me anymore.
That's always a
know.
positive.
Yeah. I made made one of my few IRL videos where I walk around with a camera and explained the setup. But yeah, I've got like the I can't remember how much I said last time, but the point of moving me in here is so that we can move Emma a little bit to the left, and then we can have like an actual living room area. And the living room area is right in front of me behind two double doors. And it has all my consoles and all sorts of stuff plugged into it. But the way it's wired is that it's also all plugged in here.
Yeah, I
And
think
the
I saw some
console,
images on Twitter where you've got it like wired through the door or something, so that you've got a screen on one side and a screen on another side of these double doors, but it's all connected to the same stuff.
It's pretty
Yeah.
genius, to be quite honest.
Yeah, I just have it's just like 4 cables that go underneath the double doors, like a few HDMI cables and stuff like that. But yeah, it's great. A few things to add to that video that I did is like I had discovered, because of where the consoles are, the cables, you know how they're like the controller cables are long enough to reach the sofa. I can actually put them through the double doors and sit here and play like wired console games as well. So
That's pretty cool.
yeah.
So
yeah,
it's all around a
I've-
better change.
Oh yeah, it's way better change. Now I have like a room to not work in instead of just having my every room, right?
I think
So-
that's
Not very
that
good
is
for
so
mental health.
important. Yeah. It
But then,
is-
funnily enough, I in there I've started doing like casual Tuesday streams. So I've like just literally like lie down on the sofa. You can see everything on the camera. And I'm just sat there just casually playing a game, which obviously I don't normally do.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, it's,
complicated.
How has this not been brought to my attention that you have a Walkie Wednesday thing on your Twitter?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Walking Wednesdays. You ever seen that?
I
It's
gotta
like
follow you, I guess.
that's like
I know,
a
yeah,
year's
well,
worth of
yeah.
walking to.
It's not as if it's hard to find. It's on his Twitter. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, but it hasn't been brought to my attention that this is a recurring segment.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
pretty
the-
great.
The camera you're looking me at is just a mirrorless camera. I just unplug it and just take it with me to when I walk the dog. Just take pictures of it.
Very nice.
But yeah, the setup's great because I've done it in like the cheapest way possible. Because this camera, I can just take it off of its mounting here, mount it in that room, and the microphone can just go in that room, and this monitor swivels into there, and I just reuse everything from a different angle, so I don't have to buy 2 of everything because I can't.
Yeah, that's good. I definitely. I mean, I've liked some of your janking of things together. Like your it seems like you've got a separate area now for your racing. Like your sim
yeah,
rig
it's,
sort of set.
it's you can sort of see the
Yeah,
chair
there's
there,
the chair.
and there's all my yeah. Don't worry about that. But there's the chair.
And then I saw your fan solution, these big tubes coming on either side of the steering wheel.
Oh,
to
yeah,
blow
that was
cool
very
air at
fun.
you. That
Yeah.
was good.
It's perfect because I'm in VR. I don't see it. It looks atrocious, but I don't see any of it. I can actually show you.
Okay, we're getting a tour.
Did we miss our 4-year anniversary?
I have no idea.
Probably.
I think that was last month.
Oh, it was.
Yes,
Yeah.
it was April.
Well, I mean,
Yeah, maybe.
if we don't, if we weren't streaming on our 4-year anniversary, then we don't deserve to celebrate it.
Good point. All right.
Yeah. So the only other thing
We'll do it next year.
Yeah.
the only duplicate I have of cameras is I have my old webcam, and that's plugged into my racing setup. So there it is. There.
I love
Okay.
the tubes. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The tubes. It's great. Yeah. I just have they're like 120 mil like PC fans, but that have been wired with a USB cable, and I just plug that into a USB hub that all my wheel and everything else is plugged into.
What's the
And
point
yeah,
of?
it
Just keep your
It
hands
just cools me down.
It's
not,
hot.
Yeah, not just my hands. It like cools.
Dude,
everything.
VR headset, they're so
They're
hot.
bigger
It's one of the
arms
things
and
I hate about it, honestly. It's just so hot.
Yeah, I'm doing all the physical, like force feedback stuff, and
Because I saw
Yeah.
that picture on your Twitter too, looking for your setup, and I thought you were doing like microbiology or like experimenting on vaccines or something. I was like, Jesus, what's he doing?
How effective is it with those? Because like with 2 PC fans plugged into USB through those long tubes, I don't know how long they are, but do you actually get a decent bit of cooling from that?
You don't like. I messed up a little bit. All the guides that I saw on YouTube or whatever of people doing this, they always got a 120mm fan, and then they got like an adapter thing to make it fit like a smaller tube.
Right.
And the point of that is so that you bottleneck the air so it goes through faster. I haven't done that. I was just like, I'll skip the adapter step and just gorilla tape a 120mm tube on it. Yeah, so the airflow isn't very fast. But you don't like, it's not like wind on your face or anything. But it still cools me now. I can still tell the difference.
It's like a constant cooling feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's good because where I do VR, I use this microphone. And the problem, I have a big fan just here, but the problem with that is if I have it on me, you just hear wind noise through the microphone. So the fact that it's weak is actually kind of helpful.
Man, I love the jankiness of it. Like it's because you've gone through the same process that I did like a month or two later, where you've just completely redone everything.
Yeah,
and we've done it in kind of exactly the same way, but also in a very different way.
I have a couple more janky things. I'll show you this one. This is my.
I saw that on Twitter. This
is amazing. Yeah, I can't afford an actual Elgato Stream Deck, and I can't be asked to email. I know people at Elgato; they'd probably send me one if I asked, but I can't be bothered.
If you just took a photo of that and just at Elgato Gaming, they'd probably send you one.
Yeah, out of pity, just please take this. For those who are listening, Josh is currently showing us. Basically, it's like a what would you call that?
It's
like
a Stream
board.
Deck from the hood or something. I don't know what it is.
It's a very cheaply printed PCB that's painted black, which is nice. And I've very badly soldered a Raspberry Pi Pico to it, and then I've soldered a bunch of other like transistors and all the switches and stuff that I needed, and then I've blue tacked a bunch of pieces of paper on the buttons that says what they do.
So it's basically like a numpad that he's made himself with pieces of paper stuck to it that say what those buttons do, and those programmed like a Stream Deck would be.
Yeah. Annoyingly, I haven't got anything for F1, but that's all right.
That's why I was saying we did very similar things, just in a very different way.
Yeah, this is great though, because I saw someone post about this on Reddit that they designed their own PCB and they were going to use it for like macros and stuff, and they got pointed out in the comments. I don't know if you can ever read this on the bottom, the GitHub URL. Do you see a problem with this URL?
I can't see it well enough.
Okay, they typoed the URL.
HTTP/HTTPS.
Yeah, they put both the different HTTPs at the start. So they typoed the board, so they were like, oh crap, I guess I'll just give them to people. And I was just like, hello, allow me to introduce myself. So I essentially got this for free. The Pi is like super cheap. The switches for the buttons are the most expensive part. Like £10 or something.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so that sits in a phone/tablet holder. It just sits on it, and I've got electrical tape on the back so it doesn't short itself out, and that's it. That's my Stream Deck.
MacGyver over here. Jeez.
Yeah.
I love it.
I literally have no idea what that thing does.
Oh, it just helps me control the stream like easier.
All right.
But yeah,
it's like changing scenes in OBS and things like that.
Yeah.
You can set buttons to just one button
the
to
changing
do things.
scene bit is great because obviously I can't. The buttons are all like actions. I have a layer switch button, which just turns the LED off on the Pi, so I know it's changed. And then it's just I need to memorize what button is what scene because the screen doesn't change right like an Elgato, so I have to memorize it. But yeah, it's been
brilliant.
useful.
The jankiness of it is so good to see. Like just the reusing of things that you've already got and putting things together and making things yourself. It's great.
Yeah, but it was a good learning experience because this is actually the first thing I've ever like soldered. Like I had to learn how to do that and got a lot of stuff for that. And I streamed it, and it was just like a bunch of people in the chat backseating me. But for once, it was useful because I actually needed it.
You didn't get told how to solder in school?
No.
Oh dear.
I did. Not
Yeah,
very,
grew up in
not
the-
much, but yeah.
Grew
I
up
didn't
in the
get taught how to
ghetto.
use a computer in school. Like,
My school was so bad that for my media course, at the end of the year, they told us that they lost all of our coursework, so they just gave us all a C. That was my school.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh.
wow, they couldn't even give you an A.
That feels like illegal.
Yeah, I mean, probably, but I mean, I didn't grow up in a very good place, so.
That's absurd. A
Me
C.
either, Josh.
what
Me
happened.
either.
That's crazy. I mean, I feel like school is so bad at teaching you things to actually live.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It should be
Oh.
teaching you about like how to do your taxes and how tax works and all this kind of stuff, paying bills and how bills.
Now you just pay somebody to do your taxes. It's simple.
It's just but I just feel like whenever kids are in school and go, oh, well, why would we ever need this when you're learning about algebra and stuff like that? It's like they couldn't say that if you were actually learning something useful. Like, maybe they've got a point.
That is completely fair, despite me mocking Josh for not getting taught how to solder in school. I have never once soldered outside of school.
Yeah, me either. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, the other thing I made, that's the reason I'm so tired, is I made an extra. It's complicated, but I made an extra upscaler for my consoles called a GBSC. It's like you buy this really cheap, crappy Chinese upscaler for arcade machines. You buy like a Wi-Fi Arduino board, and you like solder it on to like parasitically control the board, and then it turns it into an actual good upscaler for consoles.
Wow.
But the problem is, I'd never desoldered something before, and it took me like 2 hours more than I thought to desolder it. And I had so many problems. I was up till 1 a.m. just messing around with software and hardware and all sorts of stuff last night. So, yeah, I'm really tired because of that. I would go show it to you, but it's plugged in and it looks hilarious because it's just a bundle of wires and a little tiny board like attached to this other board, bigger board. I'll have to just shill my Twitter if you want to see it, but yeah, I don't want to touch it because I'm going to break it. But it's there and it works.
Oh man, it's great. I mean, it's nice to see things are being improved, even in the janky way, so that you're just going to make things so much like all this work that you're putting in is going to make things easier for yourself for streaming and all that kind of stuff. Like that's the end goal, right? Like
yeah, eventually.
Eventually, just takes
yeah,
a bit of pain and misery to get there.
I mean, if anything, I've made it more complicated. I think. Like, so my PS2 plugs into a component switch box. I have to pick the right setting. Then that goes into the GBSC, which I then have to get my phone out and connect through the Wi-Fi to pick the right setting. That goes into the OSSC, which I have to get a remote control to pick the right setting. That goes into my HDMI switch box, which I have to turn on and pick the right setting. And then that goes to my TV and capture card in this monitor. Yeah, and that's just one console.
Jesus.
That's
yeah. So I think I made it more complicated than anything, but yeah.
I mean, that's kind of like what mine used to be like. Like I had switches and then splitters that went into another switcher, and like I eventually got sick of having to switch it every single time. So now I've just got one box that everything goes into, and I press a button and gives me what I want. You might get to that at some point when you a couple of years down the line when you're sick of changing all these things.
I mean, for modern consoles, it's fine because just HDMI into this, then you're done, right? It's a bit more.
But then don't old consoles have like HDMI
mods?
Like mods or like cables that convert the signal and things like that.
The cables are trash.
Okay.
But the actual like the hardware modification where you again just get a parasitic thing that just goes on the board and like. Yeah, you can do that, but I don't think one exists for PS2 yet.
No, okay.
I'm not sure. Yeah.
Well, I look forward to seeing more, hearing more updates about it.
I mean, I hopefully don't do anything more at this point.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You want it to be done.
Yeah, I do want it to be done. I'm sick of tweaking stuff. I don't know. There was something else I wanted to do, but I don't remember what it is now. So yeah.
I know what it's like though. Like when I changed mine all around, it was such a pain because I was moving. Like it was a corner desk, and then I moved the corner desk into a big one long straight desk. And in the process of doing that, because the corner piece only had like one leg, and it was held up by the other two pieces of desk, so that fell over at one point and smashed into a load of crap that was on the floor. I had consoles and PCs all over the floor, cables everywhere, and then
God.
it is a nightmare when you choose to do these huge changes that you think you got to keep in mind. It's going to be better eventually. It's going to work in the end. I was going to make my life
I'm
much
glad
easier.
I don't have to do that again. Like I'm happy with the way my office is, and I've been happy for however long I've been here, like 3 years.
Yeah. Your change when you changed your trailer entirely. You went to your new
it was
office.
terrible. It was terrible. I went from when I changed my office, I went from like a $20 Walmart like plastic table, right? Just in my tiny bedroom to I got a corner desk and I had to take everything out of a home, put it somewhere, and put it into a home. It was not great.
But it's been so like your new office has been so good for you since then. That's why you've not needed to change anything since. Yeah.
Yes. I mean, if I actually still play video games, I'd love to like upgrade my PC or get a new one or whatever. But I don't play video games anymore, so I don't need to do that.
And good luck finding anything anyway.
Yeah, really.
At this point.
Although I did upgrade my gaming PC recently, except the graphics card. So everything in this room is like everywhere. It's all exactly where I want it to be, with as modern stuff as possible, except the graphics cards. Like you just can't get them. It's impossible. Unless you want to pay like triple the price.
I mean, crypto's crashing. There's hope in the future, right? Like
no, crypto is dipping. Now it's the time to buy.
Oh, let it burn.
Buy the
please.
dip. People bought the dip and then lost all their money on the dip because it went further down.
I made a little bit of Dogecoin money. Not gonna lie,
I did as well, actually.
I bought in at 5 cents and still got a little bit left.
And I'm still up on Dogecoin. I didn't buy at 5 cents though, but
somebody that I know bought in 2 years ago when it was less than a cent, and he made some good money.
Jesus.
He's like really into it.
So the next thing that's at least listed, and this was more pertinent last month, is that it was my 6-year partner anniversary stream that I did. Now it's we're a month behind, but
the distant memory.
6 years partnered. 7 years I've been streaming this month. I think my first ever stream was May 2014. So it's just that was a nice thing. Josh, how long have you been streaming and being partnered? Because weren't you streaming when it was like Justin TV and all that?
I started streaming 2012. Yeah.
Holy cow!
I think I got partnered in 2013. Let me go to my videos and scroll way down in my highlights, and I'll tell you in a minute.
Yeah, it's
order by
crazy
date.
how like the time just ebbs away.
Yeah, I don't even keep track of anniversaries. I probably should do. That's easy stream content, right?
Yeah, and the fact that RDT said
easy
earlier,
money.
it's been 4 years since we started this podcast. Like what?
Yeah.
It's wild. Like my nephew just turned 2 a couple months ago, and I'm like, that means I'm 2 years older. I remember when I was holding you in the hospital. Like this is.
I remember
insane.
that episode where you said you became an uncle.
I know, right?
Okay,
It's like it was yesterday.
my first highlight was the 25th of January 2012.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
That's just me playing StarCraft 2.
Early adapter.
It's like, yeah, I got into streaming because I was watching StarCraft 2, like esports at the time. I'd like wake up early to watch like Asian like esports.
I didn't even know that was like a thing back then. You know, I was still in high school in 2012. I definitely was not concerned with watching streams.
2000.
Yeah, I
Probably
mean,
didn't- yeah.
it was mostly just Asian stuff at that point, and like there were a few speedrun stuff happening at that point, but I didn't know about any of it.
I think 2012 is when I discovered Gears of War like commentary videos, and I started thinking about doing it myself. And I think it was October.
Man, that is a golden age of YouTube. Hey, what's up, guys? Here's some Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 gameplay. I'm gonna read your YouTube comments and give feedback on them. God, I want to be a child again. I want to watch Woody's gamer tag do Mail Monday again.
Oh, I used to watch that.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
Yes,
man.
please, 40-year-old man, tell me how to get girls in middle school, please.
What was that Anoj guy that made like top 10 Halo videos? Anyone watch that? No.
Nah.
Rip. He was one of those people that got screwed by Machinima, I think.
Oh my
Let's
god.
add them to the pile.
Yeah. So many.
You're all-
Remember anyone remember Machinima? I mean, jeez.
Yeah, is that
Yeah.
even relevant? Does it still exist? I'm gonna look it up.
No, they shut down.
No, Machinima
Oh,
does
did
not
they?
exist anymore.
There was some
You're
genuinely good
making
videos
me-
on
you're
there,
all
but
making me feel really, really old, but not as old as Instagram made me feel this week when they advertised a stair lift to me.
oh, that's nice.
I was like, oh wow, okay, stair lift.
Okay,
Thanks,
the
Instagram.
Machinima YouTube channel has 11.8 million subscribers with no videos public. They deleted them
They're
out.
all
That-
dead
They deleted
subscribers.
them all.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
That's
did that a
fucked.
long time ago.
Oh, did they? Oh man, so much classic stuff gone.
Yeah.
I never used
Was
to watch
top
it, to
10
be
for the
honest.
win a Machinima thing? I feel like that was one
Sounds
of my.
familiar.
Is that
I
what
liked
I'm
top
thinking
10 for
of?
the win.
Maybe that's what
they
I'm
were
thinking of.
entertaining.
Hmm.
I think I started my YouTube channel in 2012. Late 2012.
I thought you were like 2007.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, I had old gaming videos since 2006, but no, I meant in terms of like trying
Like
the
actually
whole
trying.
commentary stuff.
I had Google videos.
Google
of-
videos.
Google videos.
Yeah,
I
it was like
remember
before
Google Video.
it was like before Google bought YouTube. Yeah, yeah. I had Google videos of me playing old school RuneScape. Well, it would have been current RuneScape.
Man.
Yeah. Thankfully, they all don't exist anymore because they'd be really horrible.
Let's see. So I'm taking a look. My earliest highlight was 6 years ago. So that would have been 2016, right? Is that how math
2015.
works? 15. Okay,
Not
yeah.
how math works.
No, it's not. And the clip is of me in a Banshee. Oh, I remember this. It was an event race. I mid-drived off the line and then I got punted like halfway across the track. It was great. And then, let's see. Oh, here's all the MCEC pre-lobbies. I'm scrolling up through them now. And then 5 years ago, I got my gaming PC. Wow, my gaming PC's 5 years old. That's not good. Man.
They're reminiscing. It feels like that happens more and more, though, as time's going on. It's like just the more I realize how much has already happened and how far we are from those things have happened. Time just flies.
Yeah, what about me? When did I post my 6 years ago? That was such a bad song. I was so bad. That's why I stopped rapping. But then, yeah, damn, that was so long ago. That was college. I can't believe I've been out of college for 4 years already. That's
yeah, and then we're all
changed.
saying all stuff like this, and then there's older people in the chat and watching who
like
are
Hammer, you know.
Thanks for that. Really kind of you. Really
I was
kind of you.
drilling into him on the pre-show too. I'm sorry, man.
I was always good.
It's interesting though, because swings and roundabouts on Instagram. I got advertised a chairlift, but also I got my first sponsorship opportunity, and apparently the company Smooth My Balls wants to do a deal with me for advertising.
Zexy got that message too.
Yep.
Oh my words.
Oh my god.
There you go.
Okay,
There you go.
I just checked my account age on Twitch. I registered 9 years, 361 days ago.
Wow.
Oh wow.
I should do a 10-year anniversary stream.
Yeah. 10 years on Twitch.
Yeah. Wow.
It's a
Just
decade.
about, yeah.
Before Twitch was even a thing.
Mm.
Man, yeah, back in 2012, I was probably I think I was playing Red Dead Redemption multiplayer on my Xbox 360. That's what I was doing with my time. It was great. And then I transitioned to Battlefield 3, being a sweaty Battlefield 3 player on console, even though console Battlefield 3 did not matter in the slightest because it was a joke.
Damn.
I mean,
Oh my god.
Since we're let's if we want to try and move back into the present and move away from the past.
No, reminisce only.
I want to stay. I want to be a kid again. I want to be a kid again.
I got a new car a couple of weeks ago.
Did you keep your old car?
I have my old car still.
All right, are we supposed to guess what you got?
Say again?
Are we supposed to guess what you got?
You can if you don't already know. You can guess what I got. Yeah.
I don't.
Did you
know.
announce it? I thought you didn't announce it.
I mentioned it to the stream. Yeah. But I mean, you guys don't watch my streams, so you can guess freely.
Yeah, I don't want. It's a 2015 Honda Civic.
Okay, that's your guess. Anyone else?
I on Twitter, when I see you post about your stream, I left click it, see if it's iRacing. If it isn't, I close it.
Yeah, you were in this morning for the stream, I noticed. Yeah. As long as it's iRacing.
I say 2017 Accord.
That's too big. That's too big for their tiny streets. Accord too big.
I don't even know if they have them over there.
Interesting that you're both continuing with Honda.
You gotta. It has to be a Honda.
Come on, what's you in the Honda family? You in the Honda family, you know?
Honda gang for life, baby.
Honda gang for life. Honda gang for life.
What's that weird? I don't know car names. What's the weird car with the like? It's like half SUV, has the weird lights. Oh god, that's such a terrible Nissan Juke. That's it.
Oh god, no, it definitely wasn't that. No,
it's a Nissan Juke Nismo with a 6-speed manual. That's what you got. Yeah. That'd be amazing.
So it's interesting what you guys said because you were both right on different things.
Oh, so it's a 15 Accord?
No, the other way.
Oh, it's a 17 Civic.
Yeah.
Is it a coupe or a 4-door?
I mean, the thing is, the Civics are very different over here, from what I understand, and it's like it's still the coupe shape, but they're all 4 doors over here. But the thing that was interesting,
I was thinking about it.
Yeah.
Okay, I know. Yeah. Okay. So you have a Civic sedan, yes.
The thing that was interesting, what you two said, is because they don't sell the Accord in Europe anymore. And it's because the Civic has gone bigger, and it's kind of like taking that place of what the Accord used to do. So in a way, you were both kind of right, because that's essentially what I've got. It's the latest version of the Civic, which is kind of a bigger version of the old Civic, which is kind of like an Accord.
Well, I mean, why would you get anything else? Like,
I know, right? Like, I just thought that my current Civic has just never stops. It just keeps going and going and going.
So, wait, can I borrow your Civic when I come stay with you? Can I your old Civic?
Can
I drive your old Civic around?
Well, I've got a plan for it. I think I might talk. Well, let's talk about it during this podcast, I suppose. I don't want
race car. Put a
I don't want to tempt it too much, or say get people's hopes up too much. But Tony, as you know, Tony, my old school friend, he's actually moved back up north, He used to live in London, and he wants to get involved in cars and setting up a garage and restoring classic cars and things like that. So we've just been talking about the fact that I'm going to have this Civic, and my plan was to keep that Civic and turn it into a track day car. Well, not turn it into anything, just to take it around the track and start driving it, just for the fun. And then we came up with the idea, since Tony actually knows about cars and how to fix them, and he's an aircraft engineer, so he can do cars. I
didn't know that. It's an aircraft engineer.
Yeah. We came up with the idea of possibly selling the Civic and buying an MX-5.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. And doing the MX-5 racing the old-fashioned way on a budget, rather than the very expensive ways that I was looking at that were not possible previously.
Yes, I support this completely.
So that's the game plan at the minute. Long term, obviously. But I mean that Civic, it's got over 100,000 miles on it, but it never stops. It never misses a beat.
Because it's halfway through its lifespan.
Yeah, okay.
You silly fool! You absolute fool!
So
I would buy your car right now. If your car was offered for sale near me, I would probably buy it.
MSRP.
Yeah, it's really good. So we're thinking, do any little jobs that need doing, and can probably sell it and get an MX-5, and then do the work that needs to be done on that, and go from there.
Which isn't much, to be fair, all things considered. I mean,
on what?
Like on an MX-5 to make it go around a track. Put a roll cage in it, maybe make the cooling system a little better, and that's kind of about it.
Yeah, and the thing is, especially with the MX-5, at least the Mark 1 MX-5 Championship in this, in the one that I'm looking at, it's pretty much mostly it's all stock standard parts. You're not allowed to change most things, which is good. You got to get the roll cage in and everything, but and like certain shocks and tires, but apart from that, you've got to keep everything stock. So, yeah.
They're fantastic cars. They're fantastic cars.
And yeah, that's the thing. Tony had one as well. That's why we got onto the MX-5 idea, because remember, Tony had an MX-5 and he loved driving it, he said, and he wanted to maybe, he actually... let's not go into it too much. I don't want to spoil it too much, but it's all a long-term thing and it might not work out. And but at the very least, I've got.
So are you going to go for a first generation MX-5 or a second generation?
Yeah, first gen. They don't race the second gens, or if they do, it's not as popular.
Huh.
I was like, you can race anything. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Well, that's just strange, because I would. I mean, the NB Miata is probably better for driving and racing than the first generation, honestly.
I mean,
that's my opinion.
But yeah, there you go. It's things are moving in many different ways. The one thing that people wanted was pictures of the new car.
Oh yes,
I wasn't able to get pictures of the new car.
What the
what? How? What?
What I left it till the last minute, and then I had to. I would have had to take it outside my front. I didn't want to dox myself, and then I ended up trying to get the pictures from the garage where I bought it from, but they haven't been able to get them yet. So by next podcast, I'm going to get some proper pictures. But I found some images online of very similar models. It looks almost exactly the same. Right, so I'm going to show those.
So I'm super confused right now. Like, you have a cell phone, right?
Yeah, but I didn't want to dox myself. I don't want to just take a photo outside my house and then And I didn't
crop an image. You can't.
Well, not well enough. And also, I didn't want to I didn't get the chance to go drive somewhere else and get it. I'm going to get images of it for next week, next month, next podcast. Come what may, whether it's my car from where I drive it somewhere, or it's from garage images, whatever. I did it too late. Admittedly, it's all my fault, and I left it too late, and I didn't give myself enough time to sort it out. That's all I'm saying.
Here's what I'll do. You send us Christmas cards every year. I'll go, I'll get your address, I'll send someone over there to take pictures. I'll put it on Twitter, I'll put it on the internet. Someone can go take pictures for you. Then you don't have to worry about being done.
Aren't those sent from the P.O. box though? So
are they? Oh damn.
I think so. I don't know. I could go get mine. It's over on my bookshelf.
I mean, there's no return address on them anyway.
Oh, you didn't put a return address?
No.
Damn. My plan is foiled.
But I mean, I do have some images. I mean, you guys can see from the chat when I go to this page, I suppose. That's basically this. That's pretty much the same color. The black wheels, the tinted black, the tinted windows at the back. That's pretty much.
You have the rain guards on your driver window?
I don't actually. I don't have those.
Good call. I've always hated those. Yeah.
I found this one as well. That's kind of what it looks like from the back with the little extra, splash.
Oh, you got the hatch.
Okay. It's got a few like extra sort of lines and things which I thought were quite nice. Rather than just a stock model, it seems like it was it had some extras on it when it was new. It's only done 35,000 miles, so it's the youngest car I've ever had, 4 years old. It's the least driven car I've ever had when I've bought it, so I'm happy. It's bigger, it's like good family car that's also it's not gonna break.
Mm-hmm. Yes, good car. What kind of engine does it have?
Oh, this surprised me. It's got a 1 liter turbo.
1 liter turbo?
Yeah.
Just on one singular liter.
One
that's
singular liter turbo.
What is it? Is it a 2-cylinder engine? Like, come on now.
I don't actually know.
I mean, I'm sure.
I mean, it's weird because I've gone from a 1.8 in the old Civic to a 1 liter, and like from the lights, it's definitely not as I don't get that initial bite off the light like on acceleration. But as soon as it gets into the rev range for the turbo, it does actually go. Like they've done a pretty good job with that. So it's insane. A 4-cylinder.
I don't even think I don't think any car in America is offered with a 1 liter engine.
Yeah, it's just not a thing. Mm-hmm. Well, that's the thing. Because Xerxes' car is also like a 1 liter little Hyundai i10. So we've got the same.
Oh, I didn't even know. I didn't know she had her own car. What does she have?
A 1 liter Hyundai i10.
Oh. I wasn't listening.
But yeah, it seems like that's what's becoming more common. At least Honda are moving to that sort of thing. Small engine with a turbo.
Yeah, I know that even the Accords now, the Accord doesn't offer a V6 anymore. It's only a 1.5 turbo and a 2 liter turbo.
Yeah, I got the 1.5 inline 4, I think. It still has some zip to it. I really like
they still got over 200 horsepower, which is impressive. But
I think that was the best purchase I've ever made, and I was kind of on the fence about it because I felt like my car probably had a couple thousand more miles in it. But the fact that there was nothing wrong for the entire time that I had it for like, I don't know, almost 10 years, 8 years, I think. I was like, something's gonna happen to it. So I'm just gonna give myself peace of mind, treat myself to a new car, and it was the best purchase that I've ever made.
Yeah. I was kind of in the same boat with that. Like, just kind of, I don't really, this Civic could keep going for another 100,000 miles and be fine, but it was also starting to cost a little bit more on repairs every now and then, like getting a little bit more expensive. And I was just kind of like, it's a 10-year-old car. I've had it for 7 or 8 years now. I'm kind of wanting something more modern and new, and it is nice to have a modern, even just interior, being in a nice place to be inside the car. I'm sure you can relate with a brand new car.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty great.
Meanwhile, myself and Josh cannot relate because because I drive old cars and Josh drives no cars.
I'd be happy with anything.
I mean, there might be a Civic coming up on the market if you.
Oh no, I can't afford that. I'm talking like
Friendly discount.
2000s cars. That's what I'd be looking at.
What's the used market like over there? Like, do you have a Craigslist kind of eBay situation?
Yeah.
It's really cheap here. If I wanted to, I could go buy a car for like £500.
Yeah, you can get really cheap stuff. I mean, Auto Trader
Yeah.
is the main place where cars are bought and sold. I mean, the one that I got was from a Ford dealership that had gotten it in, like, part exchange and everything. But everything just goes on there, whether it's private or dealerships selling their used cars. It's all on Auto Trader.
Meanwhile, the used car market over here in the US is wild right now. It is ridiculous. Cars are way too expensive.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, it's insanity. It's absolutely insanity.
Why?
Everything's up. Houses are up. Like, it's crazy. But why? Yeah, I guess why. Nas, you would have more inside knowledge into why.
I mean, probably unemployment's kind of low, at least where I'm at right now. You've got all the government stimulus going on. Everybody's got a little more money.
Can't do anything except go drive places, because of COVID.
Yeah, I guess.
I don't know all the intricacies as to why used cars are ridiculous, but there are people who say a couple years ago, like, depending on what kind of vehicle you finance, let's say a Tacoma, right? Something really in demand. Like, people are able to go sell it to CarMax for $2,000 more than they paid for it, pay off their loan, and then have money left over. Like, the used car market is ridiculous.
Huh.
I mean, and it's across the board, whether it's like normal cars, like you just go buy it a lot, or like even I've seen it even happen with the Miata market. Like, you can't get a first generation Miata for under like $6,000 anymore. It's ridiculous.
Wow.
You're looking to get another one? Is that
No, I gotta keep my finger to the pulse.
You're tapped in.
Yeah, I gotta keep tapped in. I might
want
to
sell one of yours for a profit. Yeah.
So if I wanted to sell one of mine, now would be the time to do it.
Yeah. Huh.
So, but I'm not gonna do that. I like them too much.
Yeah, that's what I was waiting for.
Speaking of cars and mileage, my NB Miata yesterday went. It's at 140,000 miles now. So,
Nice.
You guys really put the miles on the cars over there.
Well, we have big country.
They have miles to travel.
Yeah. Huh.
So, but there's only like 85,000 on the engine. So.
Cool.
Yeah, I don't drive, I don't put that many miles on it. Even my last car, I had it for 8 years. I think it may have come to me in the 20s, and I sold it after, didn't sell, I traded in, at like 90 something, which I think is relatively low for 8 years of driving. But
your old Accord only had the what on it? How many?
Like 95, 96, I think. I've only just put 7K on mine.
That's a low mileage Honda Accord. 90,000 miles. That's low mileage.
Yeah, but like I said, it was coming up on that time where I just had that gut feeling where there were going to be some updates. I was going to have to change like belts and engine parts. I don't know cars that well, so I'm just going to.
You probably, if it had a timing belt, you were coming up on your timing belt change. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't want to pay for that. I'd rather pay for a new car.
People like, oh God. Oh God, that hurts.
If I can, I can. I also didn't want to listen to the radio anymore. Like, I'd rather be able to stream music to my car and have Apple CarPlay.
Oh, CarPlay! It's so good.
It's awesome.
My mind was blown. It's like I could plug this in and just completely get rid of the inbuilt system that they've put on, the Honda put in. It's crap, and I can have Apple on my screen.
Yeah, it's awesome.
See, one of the things I really want to do if I get a really cheap car is I want to put a Raspberry Pi in it and just use that for my car. Traditional Joshua's jank.
Yeah.
Just wire it myself.
That would be fun.
Can you wire me up a Raspberry Pi so that I can make my headlights blink and stuff on the read me on and send it to me.
Of course.
Be great.
I mean,
just plug in.
I need the car to work on.
All right, I'll send you the car in the mail, and then you send it back to me.
I think Tony is getting more on your side, Nost, with what he's planning to do with garage and stuff. So
I just don't get it. I mean, I don't get needing all these features in cars. Like, I just need 3 pedals, a steering wheel, and a gear shifter, and 4 wheels. That's it. And I need the driving experience to be as fantastic as possible.
Exactly. You're a driver. Like, you like cars and you like driving. I like driving, but I like being comfortable while I'm driving and having these amenities that support my high-class New York lifestyle. So, you know?
Whereas I'm kind of like both. I want a car. I don't really care about how the car drives when I'm just driving to the shops or in anywhere else. I'd rather.
Yeah, but your terrain and your roads don't really allow for high intensity driving. Mine do.
Yeah, that's true.
Hey, whoa, hold on. We got good B roads.
Yeah, but still, you got to deal with other people, and
Yeah.
I'd rather if I'm the way that I'm doing it is the way that I would want to do it. Like, have a track car or a car that I'm going to race with to have that enjoyment. Yeah. So we'll see what comes from that, I suppose.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Fair enough.
So when are you passing your test, Josh? Come on.
My God.
It's ridiculous.
One day I'm going to turn up here and I'm going to be so happy that I paid for lessons and I did my tests and I smashed it all in one go.
You have to pay for lessons?
You don't have to pay for
lessons.
lessons?
Mandatory?
Yeah. It's so
That's ridiculous. You want to know how to get a driver's license in America? You go down to the courthouse and you drive around the block with an employee of the courthouse, and then you get your license. It's great.
Oh, it's insane. It is insane that that is the way that it is.
Yeah, it's like whenever I talk about this on stream and how I don't have a driving license, all the Americans are like, "What?" Oh, it's like, well, because it's like really expensive.
But then,
to be fair, no, I think Nas simplified it a little bit. It's different from state to state. That's for sure.
But I live in the best state, so
yeah.
Like in New Jersey, you when you're 16, you can get your learner's permit, which means you can only drive with someone else who's had their license for at least 3 years, I think, and is over 21. And you have to have that for 6 months before you can go for your actual license, which is still like a limited license that you can only drive certain hours. You can't drive like after 11 p.m. or something. But honestly, getting that is so easy. It's in a parking lot. You don't even go out on the streets.
That's insane to me.
Yeah, I've got the learner license. I would show it, but it has my address on it. But I've had that for years. That was just £50 in the post, like whatever.
Yeah, the actual cost for the license itself, I think it's only like 70 or 80 for the actual license and test to. It's just the lessons, and you need the lessons because there's so many intricacies on the test that you need to know. The lessons are more to, if you know how to drive, you probably still need the lessons to teach you how to pass the test.
Yep.
Yeah, the lessons are they go into like the exact things they're going to teach you, the exact things they're going to test you on in the test.
Yeah.
Like I've done theory tests online for fun, and like I can pass those easy, right?
Theory tests. This is ridiculous.
Oh, you don't have that? No, we have.
I mean, there's like rules of the road test, but you can take the test as many times as you need to when you're there, so you can just.
We've got in the UK now as well. We've got reaction tests that you have to do as well.
Oh, really?
So they sit you down. Yeah, they sit you down in front of a video of like a dash cam, and you've basically got like a clicker in your hand, and you've got to click every time you see a hazard coming on the video.
Oh yeah, I did
like
that.
A potential hazard.
Hazard perception.
Yeah, hazard perception.
Yeah. I remember they introduced. I think there's something that I never did, where you've got to follow road signs on your test at certain points. Like he's gonna say to you something like, "Okay, now just follow the road signs to, I don't know, Durham or something," and you've just got to follow signs. You got to use whatever signs are on the road to get you where you want to go. He's not going to say turn left here, turn right here, and that was something that they added that I never did.
Like, that's ridiculous.
GPS.
This is ridiculous. This is bureaucratic garbage. That's what this is.
It's the UK, dude. Of course it is. You need a license for everything.
If you got a license for that accent.
Oh my
Jesus.
god! I can't believe like how easy it is though in the US. Like it's just crazy.
It's great. Now
that's
I would
why
like
I
to say
had
everything
almost
that
2
RDT
crashes
said
in California.
Well, everything he said about like the whole learner's permit is true. I was just speaking to like if you're already an adult and you want a driver's license. Like once you get past 18 and you're out of school, you just go to the courthouse.
But then, do you need a different license for manual? Because like most cars over there are automatic. Once you've got your license, that's it.
Yeah.
Because like you can get a license here for an automatic car, but that doesn't allow you to drive a manual. Obviously, it works the opposite way. If you've got a manual license, which most people get, you can drive automatics. But
okay, I was like,
if you get a license,
no. In fact, if you can take your like you have to provide your, at least in my county, you have to provide your own car for testing. And if you bring a manual car, you just introduce more ways you can fail. You know?
Right. Okay.
So.
Oh,
so like it makes no. You should just show up in an automatic and like you just go around the block and you like stop and then you turn, then you stop and then you turn, then you go, and then I went on a back road and you got to do a 3-point turn, and then you have to hard brake. I got counted off because I didn't look in my mirror whenever she was like brake now. I was like, "Arr!" And I didn't look in my mirror whenever I did that. So
yeah, that's the sort of stuff the driving license that we've got to teach you. So like you will get points knocked off if you don't look in your mirror and stuff when that happens.
How long?
I'm damn sure because I took all my driving license. I just didn't ever go for the test because I didn't need to drive. And I made damn sure that I had the very best driving instructor that I could have. So I got a lady whose son was actually a professional racing driver who went to Le Mans. So
wow,
yeah,
that's pretty good.
It's pretty cool.
Also, Wondersniff asks, how do you drive your car there if you don't have a license? Well, for one, someone brings you, or two, like you don't even you realize like this is America. You don't even need a driver's license to drive a car. Just get in the car, drive, and don't get pulled over. Like, it's pretty simple. I know several people who, like, they don't even have their car registered. They've got a 20-year-old car. The license plate is the paper plate from some dealership that says tag applied for. And they've been driving for 15 years, and it's fine. Like,
bloody hell. It's so different.
I know someone that failed their test. Sorry, but I know someone who failed their test since we're still on that topic. Because they didn't ask the instructor to put their seatbelt on. And they were like, oh, you did great. But I didn't have my seatbelt on the whole time, so failed. I was like, Jesus.
Wow, that's hard.
That's your fault.
I feel like you wouldn't even get that here.
Please put your seatbelt on. And she was like, don't worry about me. I was like, can you please put your seatbelt on? I've heard about this.
Jesus.
I failed my test for the first time because I took off with my grandmother who parked it, put the parking brake up, and I was pretty nervous. And the one was like, "Okay, just go." I was like, "Okay," and of course the parking brake turns off, it turns off automatically in the car I was in, but it was still up, and that was automatic fail. Automatic fail. I did the whole test, and I'm like, "Well, you failed." Okay. I'll see you tomorrow. Because you can't take the test twice in one day. You have to come back tomorrow.
God, it's so weird. So different.
Yeah, every time we fail our tests, we have to pay like $100 to reset it. It's like $120 to reset it.
Yeah, and then you've got to book a new appointment, and you got to wait a couple of weeks, and
Yep.
Jeez.
I never failed, so I was okay with that at least. But
yeah, me neither.
Yeah, first time.
One try.
I'm a failure.
Nailed.
How long did it take your driving test? Yeah, if you're just going around the block a few times, is it like 10 minutes or what?
Yes,
less than that.
Less than really? Jesus.
Yeah.
And here you go. You are now licensed to drive anything that is smaller than a U-Haul and below, I would say.
That's crazy.
Like I can go take my driving test in a Miata, and then I am licensed to drive a Dodge 3500, which is fantastic. I'm qualified to drive something the size of a tank.
I'm just I want to look up like traffic related deaths per country. Like,
New Jersey is actually one of the safest states when it comes to that, despite us doing our tests in a parking lot. So.
Their roads are so big they can't hit each other, right? Like, it's fine.
Exactly. That's called infrastructure, baby.
That's what I was thinking about, because like when I went to when I was getting my driving lessons, my instructor was like, right, so you're going to want to go to this testing center because they'll test you in a small, like a really small town, so there'll be like no cars around, and you know it'll be a really easy test rather than doing it in like the big city. It'll be a lot easier, a lot less stressful and stuff. So like they have the inside line on absolutely everything. It's great.
United States is pretty high on the list for like it's actually worse than Mexico for traffic related deaths, and there's so many countries ahead. But the thing that I found most interesting, the UK is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. UK is in the top 10. There you go. There's something.
Yeah. So how far does all that testing get you, huh?
Well, significantly less deaths.
Is it per capita though? Like
per 100,000 people I'm looking at, there are 12 deaths in the UK, in the US per 100,000 people, and in the UK there's 3.
Oh, you mean top 10 as in good, not bad?
As in good, yeah. Top 10 as in like the least amount of deaths.
Yeah, there you go. There's where our testing gets us.
But there's one country that is number 1 on the list that has 0 deaths. And it's very pertinent. It's Monaco.
Oh, good segue.
Yeah.
Go on, segues.
Monaco Grand Prix this weekend.
Yeah.
I mean, do we want to talk about the Monaco Grand Prix? It's not Racing Corner time yet.
Oh,
who cares? We can do this and not do the Racing Corner. That seems like it.
Monaco Grand Prix this weekend. It was
F1
exciting. What was that?
Something just happened there. The last F1 I watched was when Verstappen passed Hamilton, like on the outside off the track, and then gave it back or something like that.
The first one of the season.
That was rough.
Did you get sick of it at that point? Like it's like, oh, he's passed him. That's it. I'm not watching anymore.
Well, I figured that Hamilton was going to win after that, but it was exciting. I mean, F1 is exciting. I just don't watch it.
It's been quite an exciting start to the season, honestly, because Hamilton and Verstappen have actually had a fight, and Verstappen's been up there to challenge. But yeah, it's an interesting Monaco Grand Prix because Hamilton qualified very badly today. Way down in 7th, and Verstappen's in 2nd, and Leclerc might get a penalty if he has to change his gearbox because he crashed.
The classic put it on pole and then immediately crashed to cause a red flag.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think he did it intentionally, obviously, but yeah. But yeah, the Ferraris, where do they come from? Out of nowhere, all of a sudden.
Yeah, Ferrari were kind of like nowhere near the top cars, and then just happens to come to Monaco, and then Ferrari are like up there.
Yeah,
crazy.
They're really fast every practice session, so it's not just a fluke of qualifying, and now they're like, what is it, 1-4 Ferrari?
Yeah, 1st and 4th.
Yeah, flipping hell. Ridiculous.
But then, I mean, the problem is like these cars are huge now, and getting around Monaco when the cars were smaller was difficult. Like you just can't overtake. When Ricciardo won a few years ago,
is it still a parade? Is it just a parade?
Unless there's like rain or some heavy crash that changes some strategy or something like that, safety car or something. Monaco will finish the way that it starts.
Yeah, that's why qualifying is so important.
Yeah, the qualifying for Monaco is more interesting than some races, though, I think, because it's that important. And really, I think the challenge of Monaco is just them guys driving around the track for 70-odd laps, however long it is. That takes some skill and concentration to be able to do that for that amount of time. But
Yeah.
yeah,
The
there's not
pit
really a
strategy
race.
pretty much just like set in stone then
Yeah, it's just like
for
one
like
stop.
years and years.
Yeah, everyone one stops.
Damn.
Yeah, minimum pit like track position is everything. I reckon Hamilton will probably try to stay out for as long as possible and pray a safety car happens
Yeah.
and then inherits the lead that way, but that'll be his only hope.
I mean, yeah. When was it? When Ricardo won a few years ago, anyway. He had like his energy recovery system had completely failed, so he was 160 horsepower down on everybody else. So he was like a good couple of seconds per lap off the pace, but he was in the lead and nobody could get past him. He just drove it, put it in the right places, and he won the race.
Yeah, car's too big.
Yeah.
Look, did you see the Formula E Monaco race?
That was really good. That was so good.
Yeah, because the cars are designed for street circuits and they're small, so there's nothing wrong with the track. It's just the cars are too big.
I highly recommend, if anybody hasn't seen the Formula E Monaco race from this year, you've got to watch it. It was so good. Like overtakes on the last lap for the lead, and it was just incredible.
Spoiler alert.
Well, I mean, it's exciting. I'm not telling you, how it all happened or who won or anything, but it was exciting.
Well, we know that someone overtook someone on the last lap to win.
I suppose. Well, that's more reason to watch it because it was just that good.
Do they do MotoGP on Monaco at any point?
No, I don't think so. I don't think did they ever have bikes around Monaco? I don't think so.
Not that I'm aware of.
That'd be interesting.
They do the historic Monaco Grand Prix like a couple of weeks prior to the main Grand Prix, and that was really interesting. Like they take these old F1 cars. There was a great video of Jean Alesi driving Nicky Lauda's like 1970s Formula One car around Monaco, and the camera angle that they got with this like I don't know whether it was like a 360 style camera on a on like a mount on the spoiler, so it was coming off the back of the car, so it looked like a video game chase camera following the car, and because obviously the way that the camera works, you couldn't see the pole that was connected to the spoiler. So it was just could someone try to find that video, because I got to link it somewhere. It was just an incredible, but yeah, the historic Grand Prix as well. We've got some good racing there, even though it's just like people getting their rich boys getting their cars out for fun.
Yeah, people. You could tell that there were some people that were like, I can't damage this car or my wife will kill me. And there were some people that were like, I'm going to win this flipping race, right? Like,
yeah.
The difference that was pretty
I don't know what is wrong with my camera.
Yeah,
I apologize.
You exploded.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thing is, it looks fine for me.
Turn off and on.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's just...
Or do that. That works.
That works.
Good job.
Fixed it.
But yeah, the historic Grand Prix was pretty fun. I watched some of it.
But yeah, I mean, I like Monaco. Yeah, as Silent Shift says in the chat, it is a very Marmite track. You either love it or you hate it. I mean, I personally really like it. I love it.
Very pretty track.
Yeah. Like just as an amazing spectacle that they drive these cars so fast around these tiny little streets. As a race, yeah, it's not that good, but the fact the qualifying is, like I said, sometimes more entertaining than some races. So I think there's a lot of races that you would get rid of first before thinking about getting rid of Monaco.
Yeah, it's just I don't like how it's the most popular and the most like advertised one, because if you're new to F1 and you watch this as your like only F1 race, it's not a very good first impression.
Yeah, it's true.
Because you would just tune in on the Sunday and you'd watch the race and you wouldn't know anything about qualifying or anything, and you just see nothing happen for 2 hours.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
Yeah. It's like the Oscars. It's like all the glitz and glam. You got the yachts out there, It's supposed to be this prestigious, whatever, super expensive event.
Yeah.
I mean, all right, great analogy there.
Thanks for that. Yeah.
Good job, everybody.
Right, I need to find this video. Because I need to at least show it. Here we go. I need to show at least a little bit of it. it is like a video game chase cam. It's incredible. It sounds fantastic as well. I wish Formula 1 cars sounded like this again. It's just like
Oh yeah.
absolutely
Man,
incredible.
why is he using low camera angle?
It's just so good that that is. It gives you a sense of the speed as well for like a 70s Formula 1 car as well to be going around here. It kind of gives you an idea of how fast the current Formula 1 cars are going. They're like 20 seconds a lap quicker.
That's frightening.
Yeah.
All you losers in chat, I made the joke first. I made the joke first.
So we'll see what happens in the race tomorrow. Probably nothing. If Leclerc's still on pole position, he might get a penalty for changing his gearbox because he crashed. But if he doesn't, he'll probably win the race, and Ferrari will win a race.
I hope he wins because he's turboed on my fantasy team, so I will get 1,000,000 points.
There's fantasy F1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have like a budget, and you have to spend it on teams and cars and stuff. Drivers.
Interesting. Do you do that with friends?
Yeah,
like
we
in
have
a
like a
league.
little... Yeah, exactly.
I should probably set up one of those leagues at some point. But...
Speaking of GTA jokes, how about
The
that?
new update.
Yeah, how about that? I've seen that on the list.
Yeah.
We're gonna even talk about it.
That new update. I mean, we can pass over it very quickly since you've segued into it. There's some new updates coming to GTA. That's it. We're done. Let's move on.
Yeah,
It's like
no one cares.
car centric.
Yeah, car centric. So hopefully it'll have something more for us. I think it's going to be very similar to that Los Santos Summer Special from last year, where there's no big addition. There's not like a new building or heist or business or something like that. But we might get a lot of cars that have more modifications. Something that's more in tune with us. We'll see. And then the enhanced and expanded edition has finally got a date. 11th of November.
Yeah.
11th of November.
Because I play on PC. I'm already playing enhanced and expanded and ultra mega
Thing
super
is,
duper
they haven't mentioned anything about PC, like getting the upgraded version of GT Online. Like they're gonna bring a lot of updated things for the game, GTA 5 and GT Online, but they've not mentioned anything about PC getting any of that yet.
I would assume
they'll make you pay for it as an expansion. I bet you.
Like I'm wondering whether they'll treat it as like a standalone.
You haven't had to pay for
something.
anything yet, so
I don't know. It feels like I don't know. It feels like the reason that they haven't mentioned it yet is because they're trying to figure out how they can get some more money out of PC players.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be a separate version or something.
The two options are it's either just all of the stuff that's already on PC, like enhanced draw distance and stuff like that, or PC will get it exactly 9 months later.
Yeah, that's also another option. PC won't get it immediately.
Yeah.
But
they want you to buy the new version, dude. Of course.
I don't know. I'm curious how they're going to handle PC. I would assume that, like, initially I thought that the enhanced editions on console were just going to be the PC version of the game with some, 60 FPS and some settings turned up, and then that's it. But it does seem like the way that they're talking, there's going to be more, like significantly more. I mean, when we consider the jump from old gen to current gen, like we got first person added to the game. Like first person wasn't in the 360 version. So I don't know, it seems like they're gonna do more, and I'm curious whether PC's just gonna come along for the ride or what. I don't know.
Yeah, they've not mentioned anything about character transfers either.
They haven't. They've not mentioned a lot about anything, to be honest.
Yeah, if someone wanted to switch from PC to PS5.
Yeah, that's like, yeah. I don't know. We just don't know. They've released no information about it except the date and the fact that there's going to be new stuff. So we'll have to wait and see.
I can't believe they're releasing it again.
I know. I know. I can't believe we're still talking about this game.
They're gonna catch up to Skyrim in terms of how many versions of this game exist.
Oh, I know.
Playing through the story is weird because it's supposed to be set in like modern times, but there's so much stuff that's like out of date and old now.
Well, I think the story's set in 2013.
Yeah, exactly. But like, but it's presented as like modern day, right? Like,
but initially, when GTA Online came out, it was set before the events of GTA 5.
Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
Online is like
they had to go and retcon it.
Yeah.
Sort it out.
Whoops. We didn't realize how much money we were going to make off this.
Yeah. Like there's so many inconsistencies with online, like buildings that get there's references to 2017 and 2020 and things like that, but buildings that were destroyed in 2013 are still there. It's like I don't think they care anymore about the online, at least in terms of timeline and all that kind of stuff. It's all just a mess
more like
anyway.
They don't care about the single player timeline, right?
Well, yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Well, that's the thing for this upcoming expanded edition. They're splitting GTA Online and GTA 5, aren't they?
That's true. GTA Online is going to be a standalone version. It's completely separate from GTA 5. So I'm wondering if they're going to like do that on PC as well. Like they'll release the enhanced edition on PC that's got all the extra stuff just as GTA 5, and then a standalone GTA Online. And the current thing that you've got on PC is like that's just locked in with PS4 and Xbox One version.
Legacy edition.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I think that's probably. I think it's good though that they're splitting them, because I was kind of scared of them going down the route of only doing GTA Online and not doing any future sort of story-based stuff. But now that they've split it, they can do both. Hopefully.
I don't know. There's so much mess in GTA Online though. Like, how can they keep GTA Online going after a GTA 6 comes out? Like, surely there would be another online.
Well, that's the thing. They could split it, make GTA Online grow organically, and also import stuff from the next GTA 6 game into GTA Online, and just grow GTA Online on its own, and then bring out new games, new story games, and then port content into it.
Is that like how World of Warcraft kind of works? Like it's a game from God knows when, and it's just had so many updates and expansions and things over the years that, like, I don't know, how does it still, because some like these games that span like 10, 20 years, are they still based on, like, do they ever do any full on rewrites of any code or anything, or is it still exactly the same? Or like, if a GTA 6 comes out, you'd imagine so much would be improved in terms of graphics and characters and car handling and all that kind of stuff. Like, I don't see how that could ever work if you're continuing a GTA Online.
Depends how they build this new version. Really,
yeah,
doesn't it?
It's difficult because it's like you have the work of like building a new game, but also the added work of making it still support all the old stuff, right? Making sure that all still works. Yeah, WoW I know is like a completely, like they've remade everything probably like 5 times by this point.
Right. Okay.
That was like they had an expansion a long time ago called Cataclysm, where they just deleted the old world and made a new one that fixed a lot of problems.
Okay.
Yeah, it's.
But then if you're gonna do that, you've got to then make all the old stuff again to work in the new version.
Yep. Well, they just remade it all.
Yeah.
Like,
well, you see, that's maybe what the advanced handling flags were, getting the old stuff to work with the new stuff.
Yeah, it could be their approach to it, but I would trust I would trust 10 years ago Blizzard to handle World of Warcraft updating more than I trust Rockstar to handle GTA Online updating, right? Like.
Yeah, I mean, Rockstar just they don't have a clue what they're doing at this point. They're just, I mean, they've always kind of been like that with online, I guess. They're just throwing things at it and seeing what sticks. But, like, it's so big now that surely they have to have some plan. And everybody wants GTA 6. I mean, how long are they going to wait?
Yeah, when do you think? When do you guys think it's coming out?
GTA 6? I think GTA Online will at least get 10 years. Like, I remember when original Destiny came out and EA were all like, 10, was it EA? No.
Bungie, isn't
Bungie, Activision.
Yeah.
Activision.
Yeah, Activision's the publisher.
Yeah, they were all like, "Oh, this is we got a 10-year plan for this game. It's gonna last 10 years." I think that Rockstar, after like 3 or 4 years of GTA Online, would have said, "We can get 10 years out of this. Let's do what they're doing." So I think GTA Online is going to be at least 10 years as the main focus, and then we might get a teaser trailer for GTA 6 that will be out another 2 years after that. So like
2025.
2025 or something.
Yeah, 2025 was my first guess.
Drops out of GTA Online and then get people hungry for a new game.
Squeezing blood out of a stone at this point.
Mm-hmm.
God.
Mm-hmm. I see it though, like the new version coming out, the way that they've split it, GTA 5 and GTA Online. I see that as them sort of maybe trying to say it's like parallel universes sort of thing. You've got GTA 5 and all the shit that happens in that, and GTA Online and all the shit that happens on that, and the two are just separate
separate entities now.
Universe.
Yeah, which would make sense.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And they also
I
don't
really
have
don't
to
know.
fuck about with any of the lore stuff.
I don't know. I mean, also when a GTA 6 does come out, if they were to start again from scratch in an online version, like this 8 years worth of content that's been added to GTA Online, yes, it's largely a mess and it's just so much that's out of balance and garbage. But that's still a lot of content that people would just go back to zero in a new version of, a new game. That's a challenge to be able to capture people's attention like that from the beginning. Like GTA Online came at exactly the right moment, right on the precipice where there wasn't that much to do, but games back then weren't quite on the level and the scale of GTA Online was even then. So
yeah.
it would be difficult.
This is exactly why there's no WoW killer, because WoW has like 10 plus years of development in it.
Yeah.
There's so much content. You can't release a new game and have it have as much content as WoW, right? Like, yeah.
That's it. Like maybe it'll just keep going like a WoW, like GTA Online will be the WoW of that genre, open world sort of online stuff.
God, I hope not.
I know.
That's what I was thinking now. But we'll see what happens, I guess.
Yeah.
Anything's possible.
I tell you what, I picked the right game to start covering in 2013 for driving and racing and testing cars.
You're an absolute genius content creator.
Oh, pretty well, yeah.
So many games that like I could have focused on, or games that have come and gone in the meantime.
Yeah, you could. Back then, you could have been a Call of Duty YouTuber. That would have been terrible.
Yeah, I can guarantee you wouldn't still be here if you were still covering Gears of War.
Yeah, exactly. Oh man, we'll see. The other thing that we that's on the list is Josh. iRacing, is this Indy 500?
Oh yeah,
racing.
Right.
Speaking of racing in video games.
Yeah. In the past 2 months since the last podcast, I've entered a couple special events. I'll talk about the other thing first. I got invited to a iRacing league, like esports kind of paid league thing for streamers or whatever. To advertise this new league system thing called Tracks. But they had prize pool and whatnot. But the problem is, when I signed up for it, I was the second slowest person in the whole league. So gosh. I had absolutely no hope of winning anything. Like, there was some really fast guys in there. There were like real life racing drivers in there as well. So I was kind of screwed. But they realized that because they got a bunch of streamers and stuff, they had a big wide gamut of skill level. Like a bit before the event started, they announced this like rivals system where they just paired people up with their closest like skill level rival, and if you could beat them, you got $100 of Bitcoin,
All right.
And let me tell you, I've never wanted $100 of Bitcoin so bad. Yeah, thankfully, it could have gone one of two ways. I could have been paired with someone faster than me, or I could have been paired with someone slower than me. And thankfully, I got paired with someone slower. So I had a pretty good chance of winning. But I have talked to the guy I was rivals with, Pondon. He's a nice guy, but he's not like an iRacing streamer. He normally plays F1. So I had a bit of an advantage. But yeah, it was like a 2 weekend league thing, just advertising this thing.
But were you all like in the same race, and it was just whoever finished highest out of each pair? It wasn't like just a one-on-one race series or something.
It was you got 1 point for out qualifying them, and then 1 point for beating them in the race, of which there were 2.
Okay.
And the second race was full reverse grid, so it was
right. Okay.
always mayhem. And as like the second slowest person, full reverse grid is pretty stressful. Let me tell you. But yeah, it was 2 races. The first race was GTE cars at Silverstone. I didn't even own a GTE car, so I had to buy one for it. And I've never driven Silverstone properly before, so I had to learn it. Strangely, that one went really well for me. I got all 3 points that I could have that weekend. But then the next weekend was F3 at Kota, which is a car track combination I've driven loads of, and I did really terribly in that. But I did manage to get 1 point on the guy. We had a really close race in the second to last race where I was like chasing him, and at one point he locked his rear brakes and spun, and I got past him. But yeah, it was my first ever like invite only event thing, and I was like, I'm an iRacing streamer now, right? Like,
that's pretty cool.
What I do.
And you made some money.
And
you made some money.
Yeah. I can officially put professional iRacing sim racer in my bio or whatever.
Absolutely.
I won esports money. But I took that Bitcoin, and I have like a friend, Wayno, who knows about all that crypto stuff. So I was just like, yo, I don't want to get involved in crypto. Just give me $100 and I'll give you this. And then immediately after, Bitcoin is crashing, so I got it good. I ordered that instantly. But yeah,
it's dipping.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let me reiterate, it is dipping.
But yeah, I did really well for it. But one of the problems was I think it was hosted by Australians, so the races were like at 1 a.m. for me.
Oh god.
So I had to, it was very difficult to do that, but yeah, it went well. It was fun to actually be involved. So
that's cool.
Yeah, and then the other thing, the Indy 500, the Indy 500 in real life is soon, but iRacing has 2 runs of it, and this weekend is the open setup Indy 500, but I didn't do that. I did the fixed setup one, which was last week. And it's just a big special event thing in iRacing, and I just entered it. And there are 3 races that I was going to enter to see if I could actually finish one. The first one I entered, I got immediately murdered on lap 1, turn 1 by someone else losing control in front of me, just hitting me and murdering me. And this was like, I actually had to practice. You had to qualify like days before, and I had my friend Carl, who's in Team Prolapse. He was like spotting for me like live, because you can't just use the in-game spotter for ovals because it's not precise enough. Because it's like, he says car right, but it's like, how high? Like, and there's a crash in front of you. Like, where do you go? High, low? Like, stuff like that.
It's impossible, really, to use just the in-game spotter.
Yeah. So I had him, so it was, really, we were trying pretty hard to do this, and, instantly killed on the first one. The second one, I don't remember what happened on the second one now. But I guess it wasn't that interesting. No, the second one was interesting. The second one, I was on pole, and I led a ton of the race. I led it was 200 laps. Indy 500 is, and I led 20 of them. But then something bad happened. I don't remember what it is. I got murdered somehow.
Classic racing, yeah.
Yeah, but then the last one I was in, I got all the way to lap 100, and then there was a guy slow in front of me, and I was coming out of a corner as fast as possible, and he's slow, so I swerved to the left to avoid a crash, and then I'm just like, I guess I'm overtaking him now, and I'm slowly overtaking him. And then the guy behind me is like, "Oh, let's make it 3 wide," and then he goes alongside him, and then we're 3 wide going into the corner. The guy on the left bails, but I don't know this because it will happen so fast. So I stick dead in the middle of the track because I'm in the middle. But the guy on the right apparently doesn't care and just turns into me like I'm not there and kills me. But
so getting to the end of the Indy 500 seems difficult then.
Yeah, I mean I'm also not that great, but that was the final full course yellow of that race. So if I had just survived one more full course yellow, I would have got to the ending under green. So that was sad.
That's unfortunate. Next year.
Yeah, but it was fun though. I did well.
Is it fun to do the ovals? I mean, should I try ovals at some point?
I think you should. Yeah, I've tried all the. Well, I haven't done dirt oval, but I've done like rallycross and ovals. It like ovals watching them is like, oh, they just turn left, it's boring or whatever. But actually driving them, like if you just turn left by yourself, it's whatever. But when you're in like a pack of people and you're like, trying to keep your distance to everyone and trying to keep in the slipstream and like figuring out these guys have a run, let's join their queue and go behind. It's actually really fun to drive it.
Okay.
So racing the ovals is great fun, but yeah, I don't watch them.
Yeah.
But it's fun though, and there's unranked free ovals in iRacing as well. There's every hour there's a pickup cup race in iRacing that you can do. You don't need to buy anything, and it's just unranked, so it doesn't matter if you mess up.
Huh? Maybe it's worth trying.
Yeah, they're fun. Everybody will die like within the first 5 minutes, but those first 5 minutes are great.
So let's open up the phone bank for community questions if anybody has any.
I'm not going to be here much longer, probably 10 more minutes.
Okie doke.
Oh man.
And then whilst that's happening, if anybody wants to ask any questions, get in the phone bank on Discord.
No one does. It's okay.
It's okay. Until we get to those community questions, Josh, do you want to some Speedrun Corner?
Yeah, sure. Super Mario Bros. New world record, new second barrier was broken. It's insane. 4:54 Super Mario Bros. Original. Look it up. It's good.
4 minutes 54.
Yeah, for Super Mario Bros. 1.
Jesus.
It was people didn't think we'd get another second in Super Mario Bros. 1, but by God, they did it. But the next second, surely that one's impossible, right? There was the world record in any percent random seed glitchless in Minecraft is now sub 10 minutes. A guy
That's very impressive.
Yeah, a guy spawns and there's a broken nether portal in a village in front of him. So he just and then there's obsidian in the chest next to it. So he just builds the portal, goes in, and then everything he needs is there. It's just insane luck. It's ridiculous. There's a new any percent no AJS world record for San Andreas, the first one in like 3 years or something. Someone made a tool-assisted speedrun of Super Mario World where they use the same inputs for every single level of the game. There's like an input visualizer on the left and it like repeats and they beat every single level with the same inputs. It's
really?
It's hard to like think of, but if you watch it, it's like ridiculous.
Wow. That's interesting. So the exact same system that allows you to get through one level allows you to beat every other level as well.
Yep. If you just, I mean, it's like a human can't do it, right? It's ridiculous happening stuff, but yeah, you just put those inputs in and it could beat every single level in the game. It's crazy. There's like when you first watch the first level, it's just like you're watching just the first level, and it's just a whole bunch of him just standing in a corner and just like shaking, right, and jumping randomly and stuff. But then when he gets to the next level, he takes the first level and puts it in a box to the left so you can see both. And then by the end, you're watching like 20 levels at once. It's like, oh, everything makes sense now, right?
Yeah, you see where that one little shake that he did in the first level actually helps him to avoid something in the fifth level or something.
Yeah, exactly. And then the final thing is that a new glitch was found in Grand Theft Auto 4 where you know when you get in a taxi in that game and you can tell the taxi driver to go to your waypoint or whatever, and you can like teleport there basically. And like if you put like your waypoint like in the sea or something, the taxi driver will just drive close as he can on like the roads legally and drop you off there. People found a glitch where if you like quickly remove the waypoint after the taxi driver started teleporting to it, the game doesn't check whether it's legal for him to go there or not, and he just puts you straight on top of where it was. So you can just teleport wherever you want in GTA 4 now.
Ooh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's
you can,
handy.
like put the taxi inside like buildings and stuff like that. It's great.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's my speedrun corner speedrun. What time did I get?
New record.
Oh, I wasn't timing. Damn it.
All gold splits. All gold.
Minute
splits.
39.
Yeah, it was quick. We'll find out on the timestamps at the end when the video goes up. So, are there any questions? Do I know Hammer had a question. He said in the pre-show, but is there anybody else?
Oh, wait! I forgot one.
Oh,
the most important one. I forgot the most important one.
Oh,
Someone beat GTA 5 without taking any damage in one go. That's a one hit KO speedrun. They beat the whole game without taking a single hit.
That's impressive.
How quick?
Yeah.
How long?
Really?
How long did that take?
I don't know the time. It only happened recently.
I imagine that would take
like 10 hours.
Yeah, a long time because you'd have to be super careful.
Yeah. I think there's like a ton of ridiculous strats you have to do. Let me look how long it is. Yeah, get some questions while I'm.
About 9 hours, supposedly.
Oh, okay, there you go.
Sheesh.
Don't mention the
Like
drama. Oh, there's drama alongside that. Okay.
Well. Oh yeah, there's big drama. It's great.
Oh yeah, right. Intentionally not mentioning it.
Looks like we do have a question on deck. Discord name is Andre Back. I will drag him in now.
Hey, thank you for choosing the Choking Hazard podcast. What question can I answer for you? Why is it every time we do this? I always do this, and then there's no question. Hello.
This is a question to all of you. When preparing before a podcast or another one of your streams, do you use checklists?
Do we use checklists? I know that.
Good question.
RDT, do you ever use checklists before this podcast to prepare yourself?
Oh yeah, I have a whole routine that I go through. I make sure that I eat at least 3 slices of bacon and 5 eggs. I have myself a milkshake. I stretch and do about an hour of meditation, and then I go straight into the document and read up on everything that we do.
You do none of that. You lie.
Oh, you caught me. Human lie detector over here. God.
We do have a document for the podcast where we type things in as it comes to us throughout the month of things that we might want to talk about, and then generally go through that in a somewhat.
And then by the time we get to the podcast, it's all irrelevant news because it was a month ago.
Yeah. I tend not to go through any checklists or anything before I start streaming. I was mentioning this on my stream this morning that I'm like an incessant note taker. I'd write notes down for everything because I'll forget it if I don't. So there's some level of checklisting for certain things, like monthly stuff and whatnot, that I need to remember to do once a month or something, related to streams or website or YouTube or something like that, but not for the podcast. I don't know how organized any of you are in that respect. Is it just me that I'm...
Well, Josh, you're the only other real streamer here. So.
I have a text file called Choking Hazard Notes that I write things in, but I write things with way too much detail, and then I don't actually read it when I'm talking out loud. So that's how I forget things like GTA 5 damage run.
So you write it all down, but you don't actually use it.
Yeah, pretty much.
What about for your streams?
For actual streams, I have no checklist. No, I have a back file that I run that opens all the software I need, but that's about it.
Of course you do.
I think for me, during the pre-show, I mentioned to Adam that I was like, oh shit, I can't remember what I need to have open for the podcast because
it's been so long. I know.
At the end of the day, we've been doing this for 4 years, so a lot of it is really sort of muscle memory, just opening the same stuff and making sure like the right apps are on, your mic's all set.
That's why we do the
Bruff?
pre-show, which you can watch on the
mic's
channel.
all set and everything. Alerts are turned off, and all that.
I feel like this question has actually just been to throw shade at Brough that he needs to start a checklist for the podcast. I think that's the whole point of the question. Now that I think about it.
Well, I like how Emma said in the chat they probably should. I mean, that's, there's definitely been some shade around.
Wow. Okay.
No, I like the chill nature of, sometimes things can go wrong, sometimes we can forget things. It's just how it is. You just keep it nice and chill and informal.
Yeah, it shows.
That's what I tell myself. It's a janky podcast. Yes, we're just janking it all together.
Yeah.
Thank you for the question, though. That was a fun question.
Podcast
like
and before the podcast. And
the whole naming scheme of the podcast isn't even in the podcast anymore. The choking part.
No more
what
choking
do you mean?
Yeah.
Oh,
week, wasn't it, originally?
Yeah. I mean, that's all.
What does the name even mean anymore?
Oh, this thing's falling.
Well, it plays into itself because we've choked so much that we've even lost the main feature of the Choking Hazard podcast. So we're just one. It's one big choke at this point. This whole podcast.
Yeah. So again, it comes back to being named appropriately.
And then it circles back.
Full circle.
There you go.
Planned.
There you
go. Thank you for the question, Andrew.
Thank you for the question. Yes.
Thanks.
Hammer.
I had a question that I was wanting to ask you last podcast, but last podcast never happened. So it was. So this is to Broughy, but feel free to chip in with any views or opinions and whatnot, other guys. So I wanted to know, have you been keeping up with Jimmy Broadbent's brick car journey at all on his YouTube channel?
Yeah, well, I've been keeping abreast of it by following him on Twitter. We actually had this in the Racing Corner, but since we did the Monaco stuff earlier, we just skipped over the Racing Corner, really. But it's pretty amazing what he's doing.
I just wanted to sort of know if there was any sort of is there feelings of jealousy there, or
100%,
or
all of it.
How do you feel about that?
Mostly 90% jealousy, maybe a 10% admiration, and like 1% respect for doing it. Mostly jealousy though.
Yeah, I feel the same. Definitely mostly jealousy, but it's really cool though.
Yeah,
it's
a
little Babby's first prototype. It's so good. It's so cool.
Yeah, I love the car. I couldn't believe it when I saw it. It's like somebody's taken a Pagani car and just like sliced the middle out and glued the two ends together. Such a great wee car.
Yeah,
but yeah, it's really good that he's gone from doing YouTube videos about racing to racing in real life, and it's not even like the absolute basic level. It's he's in a pretty hefty car there. So yeah, it's great. I'm happy that I haven't really. It's not as if I've followed him for a long time or anything. I started following him on Twitter when we did that his iRacing event, the 24-hour race, 23-hour race. But it's impressive what he's done and what he's doing, and I hope to emulate it at some point. Probably not to that level, but even if I can get on a track and do one race in a Mazda, I'll be happy. Having that single experience of racing in a car in real life, even just as a one-off, I'd be happy. So mostly jealousy.
We've got like tiers. There's like Jimmy Broadbent, like driving an LMP thing, and then there's you that's like, oh, maybe I could do a Mazda on a racetrack, and then there's me that's just like, I just want a car.
Well, I feel like that Jimmy, before he like actually did like this level that he's at now he's just surpassed it, but he's like almost lived the English version of my life's dream, which is to minimize everything else but cars at all costs. I mean, the man lives in a shed, people. The man lives in a shed.
He just
Oh, does he not?
Oh yeah, he has a house now.
Yeah.
Oh wow! After after buying a Miata and a GTR, he finally decided to buy a house. Which, so
yeah, it's good to see people within our space and YouTubers and people specifically who, you know, racing YouTubers actually racing in real life, and people who do the same sort of thing that we do having success with it. It's nice to see.
We'll need to try and get him on the podcast. You know him, don't you, Josh? Know him by
Sure, and I know he's
chatted to him a few times. I've seen him.
I know he's really, really busy right now.
Oh yeah, obviously. But
I'm sure he could spare a few minutes for a prestigious podcast such as this.
well, does he have an account on Cameo? Maybe we can pay him to send a minute-long message to the podcast.
I have an account on Cameo, but nobody's bought anything yet, so I might just get rid of it.
You do?
Yeah, I got it a while ago, but I haven't really made it that known. But I made it known in some streams. But yeah, it's nobody
How
wants
much do you
anything.
charge?
It was like $5 or something.
Bucks. Interesting.
Oh, that's cheap. I mean, I can make you do so many memes.
Well, that was one thing that I said.
Some heinous shit,
Yeah, if people start doing that, I'll significantly up the price. It'll be going to $13.22, and then it'll be going to $132. You know, nah, it's all good fun. But yeah, it's good to see that he's succeeding.
Even imagine the awfully cringy things that people would have you say. It's like, oh, happy 15th birthday. Oh no, second for life. Something like that.
When did I become Irish? Yeah, that all of that could happen. But I mean, if I'm getting $5 for it and it takes me 10 seconds, I mean, I'm all right for it.
Fuck it, why not?
Or make that bread.
Right, we'll end it there then. Yeah, have a fun day at work, Nos.
Oh, yeah, sure.
And we'll try to be back next month, so we're not actually missing a month again. We'll see.
Maybe.
Well, maybe
It'll be a
have
good day at
games
work
night or something.
It's very, very bright, very sunny, very warm outside. I'm gonna put the top down. I'm gonna spin some tires. I'm gonna sling some dough. I got some donuts. It's gonna be great.
Great. And thank you all for watching for the last 4 years of the podcast.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, that happened.
Yeah, that happened. That was 4 years ago.
What a mistake.
Thank you for your continued viewership and support. Like, comment, subscribe, rate us on iTunes.
Subscribe to the YouTube channel as well. Yeah. Watch the pre-show. That goes
Hit
up
that
a week
notification
after the podcast.
bell.
Yeah.
Yep. All those
All right.
Whatever.
Watch all of the ads, switch your ad blocker off, and get them watched.
And then we'll get that $2.
Yep.
Yeah, you'll get that $2. I haven't seen a dime from this.
Yeah, I haven't seen a dime. In fact, I've lost money from the games I've bought for the game night. This has been a negative investment for me. This whole podcast. This has not accrued any value.
I didn't want to ask, but yeah, when do we get paid?
Well, as soon as our profits cover the cost of the audio version, which is over $100 a year, then we'll start getting paid.
Next podcast brought to you by Raid Shadow Legends.
I hope so. Jeez. I'll hawk any product at the
All right, thank you guys for watching. Do you want to say goodbye, guys?
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
See you all later.